I have no mortgage. I set this up completely from the beginning with no mortgage. I watched my property taxes go from $300 a year to over $600 a year, and that's just in a matter of 7 years. So if this goes down the way we're seeing it going down, it'll jump from $600 a year to $1,200, from $1,200 to $2,000. You can't define what these people are going to do next in order to confiscate everything we have. So you have to be prepared, and the only way you can be prepared is if you've got enough money stockpiled to cover your taxes, or you collectively work with people to cover the taxes, and you all occupy the same space.
Justin, in order to stay in your property for as long as you can, and be able to pay your bills, utility bills and the property taxes, you can't be paying the bank and the property taxes at the same time. The mortgage has to be paid off. Do it a little bit at a time. Do it a lot at a time. The money means nothing until you spend it. The money has zero value. It's a number on a piece of paper until you spend it. If you spend your mortgage down, you have earned not just what you paid, but you have earned money that you don't have to pay the bank. And I don't know if you've ever taken a look at a mortgage, but over a 30-year period, if you bought a mortgage for $300,000, you may be paying $3 million for
Exactly.
And that's a great point that you were talking about, because Justin also wrote, he said, wouldn't they need assistance from local law enforcement? Why would they even want to do their job if the money is worthless? And I'm thinking here that I know that it's the sheriff, right, that usually would be conducting that. If I'm incorrect, you guys can correct me.
Yeah, it's the sheriff that serves the papers.
But it'll be a process to where it may not just go to, Mad Max right away. They're going to want to go through the process in that when all these foreclosures and that take place. And so it's going to get to the point where, yes, the money will be definitely worth a lot less when that time happens. But if you're, desperate enough and you have a job like that, such as the sheriff, that is the money job. And there's not going to be a lot of jobs out there. And but what will be out there will probably be government jobs.
Well, I tell you what, I've seen television news programs that say these sheriffs are not doing their job. They refuse to foreclose on anybody. This is a big heist from the banks.
Yeah, but that's pretty...
Some of these guys are refusing to foreclose on anybody because the banks are acting illegally.
Yeah, but that's only a minute amount of them. The majority of them are still going through with what they have to do or want to do.
I hope the rest catches on soon.
Well, the reality of it is, if it comes down to that, you got to expect, these people that are running government, they're diabolical. These people have no heart, just like they have no mind. So they'll make concessions for these sheriffs or state police or whatever the case may be. If they can't pay them in cash, they'll find another way of paying them to keep them on their side. You got to take all that into consideration. So the best thing to do to avoid any conflict in that respect is get prepared ahead of time. Stockpile. If you don't have a mortgage now, start preparing to pay for your taxes at an escalated rate. Put money away for that, gold, silver, or, even the funny money if it comes down to it. Because nobody's going to say that they're going to accept gold and silver at that point either. They still might want their funny money.
All right. Well, you're listening to The Cutting Edge live on DA Radio. We're going to go to a quick break, at least for about 70 seconds, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. You are live on The Cutting Edge, and if you would like to be part of the show, you can write me an email at digitaladdiction@gmail.com. You can also call in on Skype by calling Digital Addiction or sending a message. You can send your questions or comments to Digital Addiction on Skype or Gmail. But we are back, and we are live. Welcome back, everybody.
I'm back.
Yeah? Okay, silence isn't good. Let's talk. Go ahead.
Well, I'm back. Raring to go.
Okay, we answered Mike's question and we answered Justin's question. So being our first show, that's not too bad, I guess. We might have some more call-ins later on, so hang in there. But I think we're doing pretty good so far for a first show. So let's keep on rolling, I guess.
Well, are they calling in via Skype or the telephone?
Skype, more likely.
Yeah. Well, maybe they're a little shy. I really couldn't be considered an expert in this area, but I sure can anticipate. I mean, I served in the military. I have lived my life with the same philosophy that I had in the military, or was given in the military, of plan for the worst and hope for the best, and it's worked out for me. One of the things that I carried with me throughout my life was never buy anything that you cannot pay cash for. In other words, don't write a check that's going to bounce from the bank.
It's 11 o'clock.
Say it again?
Oh, that was my MacBook that said it's 11 o'clock. Sorry.
Well, anyway, that's worked out well for me. I'm not in serious debt, but I can see some of my relatives going in serious debt. And, once the garbage hits the fan, they're going to want to talk to me and find out what to do. I'm not going to have to tell them it's too late. You should have done this 30 years ago.
Well, if I was around 30 years ago, I would have been pirating on shortwave, but that's a different story, I guess. But anyway, go ahead, Patrick or Darko, pick it up.
Are they still here?
Yeah. That's what I really ran across my mind a lot. I know for a fact what Richard just mentioned, that when all this does go down, the same ones that ignored us and told us we were conspiracy nuts and whatever have you, they're going to be the ones crying the loudest, coming to us looking for answers and help. And unfortunately, like Richard said, it's going to be too late. My thought process is, my family, for the most part, excluded me. I tried to tell them for 20 years now, get prepared, do something, get out of debt, get some food together, make plans of where you're going to get water from, whatever, do something. Don't just sit there and expect this party to go on forever, because all the signs were even there 20 years ago. Every time you turned around, we were heading into a recession. And, even now we're in what they're calling a recession, but, for all intents and purposes, we're in a depression. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, like Richard said, these same people are jacking up their credit cards and getting second mortgages on their homes, thinking that it's just going to go on forever. It'll never happen here. And that's when it's going to be too late.